Here's a picture of Mouse. Here's the one at the back there, that killer dog that bit me. Hello everyone. Hey, I haven't been in a car for a while, have I? Doing a video anyway. After I went down to do that presentation in Birmingham, and my car got smashed up. Whatever it is, they said they were trying to steal it. They've got to be the worst car thieves in the world. Pardon me if that was the case, but anyways, I didn't have my car for 3.5 months. Again, there's a story that I need to tell about that, but I wouldn't be putting it out on a public channel. A bit dodgy. But anyway, I'm just quickly shooting off to the post office. So I just thought I would do a quick video. I've got loads of Zoom calls on today. Not just like with you know, people asking for some assistance and some ideas, etc., because we don't give advice at all, legal, lawful or any other, but we do tell people what we're doing and what's happened. But anyway, I'm off to the post office. Got loads of these packages. Okay, we're doing these things, right? We're expressing the actual documentation, and on top of the documentation that we are expressing, all right, then we're dropping off and posting off the big packages as well. It's like the big chunky parcels for the crashing. Not going to get very far for smash into a lamppost for the private trusts. So what we're doing with the actual deeds and the certificates of creation, the memorandum of trust creation, right? We've already bought the Royal Mail first class for the actual expression. So we have to cover the certainty of intention on a private trust, all right, because you're not going to register it with the state. It's statutory, it's not statutory. Then we have to make sure that there is proof that we actually had the intention to create the trust. You have 3 certainties of intention. Three certainties that you must cover to make sure by trust law, equity law, that there is a valid trust in place. The first one for you is the certainty of intention. Did you intend to create a trust? Is there really a trust in place that you created? That's the certainty of intention. Then you have the certainty of subject matter. Did you actually express into the trust your property or your res? And then the certainty of objects, which means is there beneficiaries in place named in the document. So that's the 3 certainties of intention. So we cover all of them in the actual expression by posting. Well, once I've created the documents, I then create the additional documents, like I said, the certificate of trust creation, and then the the memorandum of trust creation. So inside the certificate of creation, we are literally just stating a private trust was created, the trust name is this, the date is this, and inside the actual certificate it's got Royal Mail tracking number, blah 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 blah. It's in the certificate. All right, then it's also in the memorandum of creation, and on the memorandum of creation we have not only the trust name but also the settler's name, the trustee's name, and the beneficiary's name. But on top of that, we also put the title, right, the actual title of the res or the property that we have deposited into the trust, and confirmation that the trustee is in possession, all right, of the title to the property. So no way in the world could anybody argue in a court or any other way, oh well, no, you haven't got a trust, all right, you did not intend to create a trust. Well, of course I did, because it's on the Royal Mail tracking number. So on the actual envelope, because I do it online and then I printed out what they send me, I have proof of posting with the tracking number on it from Royal Mail headed newspaper. Then I have, once it's been received by whoever I'm posting it to, who I've created the trust for, right, they'll sign for it because it's first class signed for. by the Royal Mail. So then I'll go back onto the website, the Royal Mail website, and I will get proof of delivery, i.e. who signed for it, what date they signed for it, and what time they signed for it. And we print that out as well, and I post that down to whoever's got the trust. So there covers a certainty of intention, but on the memorandum of creation, it also states what the title number is, what we deposited. So there is your two certainties of intention covered, sorry, two certainties for the trust covered, the intention and the subject matter, i.e. property. And obviously we've stated who the beneficiaries, the trustees, the settlor. That's all in the actual memorandum as well. So that also covers your last intention, your last certainty, the certainty of objects. All right, so that's it covered. I'm going to do 2 or 3 videos building up to this, because I've got information that I want to give out to you. I've got some news that I want to keep you news updated, because obviously the lame stream media tell you jack. All right, so I've got a lot of good stuff, juicy stuff that's going on. It's going on around the world, and what's happening around the world, you know, with this world war that we are actually in, which is a psychological war, a spiritual war, as well as a physical war. All right, but more on that later. I'm just gonna pop into the shop, gonna get something for the tea today, or dinner, or whatever, lunch, whatever it is that you would call it, where we live, right? After you come home from work or home from school when you were a kid, you get your tea, and your mum cooks your tea for you back in the day. All right, when we didn't have all these ridiculous pronouns for all this nonsense. All right, I'm gonna be back in a second and I'll continue with the video. All right then, okie dokie. So there's me, got me mushrooms for me me tea, and I'll go drop these parcels off at the post office. So like I said, that's the deeds, the memorandum of creation and the certificate, the trust creation certificate. They're expressed, right, privately via the Royal Mail tracking numbers, with all the dates from the Royal Mail, and obviously dated on the certificates and the memorandum of creation. Okay, perfect expression, bulletproof. So then, if you so desire as well, you know what we have done and what I think you should do, but it's totally up to you, is then do it with what we call a public notice in your local newspaper, and you don't give any private information. All you're doing is saying it's like that, well, it's a private trust was created on this date, private trust number blah blah blah, property was deposited, title number blah blah blah, which is, see, it's all private. It doesn't say anything what the actual property is, it's just saying it has a title number, and then it's expressed into the local newspaper, and they do it online, so it's expressed on the World Wide Web and on the local newspaper, and right, you've done it through the Royal Mail. I mean, that's pretty strong, you know, very strong. I'm going to pull in here, I'm going to go to this post office, and then I'm going to go and get to the health food shop to go and get ourselves some organic bread that is made in the shop. They actually bake it in the shop, and they don't put any folic acid in, you know, like they've made an actual act, they've passed an act, a statutory act, that all bread that you buy from shops and supermarkets and whatnot, it all has folic acid in, which is proven to cause anxiety, depression, and various things that mess with your mental health. So we actually get them, they bake it in this little shop here. It's actually a health food shop, not a baker's, but it's all organic ingredients, and they don't put any of that folic acid in or any of these preservatives. Okay, so they're much better for you. So I'm just going to pop to the post office and get all these trust documents off, and the expression documents as well. So these lucky people now have private trusts, and they are completely and utterly private. They are not written in any legal text whatsoever. It is all stated and classed as I a man, I a woman. Obviously the lowercase I with your head still attached. You haven't been decapitated. You're not dead. You are not a legal fiction. Okay, so this is how they actually are created. It's written in the language of law, at law, under the law of the creator. So the only other thing it could be done was with equity, completely outside of legislation. All right, so you're not affected by legislation whatsoever. That is the way that it's actually created, so it's nice and powerful. I'm going to tell you a lot of reasons why you need to be doing this now. Some of it you might know, but we're going to tell you a little bit once I get home. I'm going to get on again and do some more videos. All right, but I'm just going to pop to the post office, post them off for them lucky people, and then we'll continue after. Oh, and there I'm back again. So there's all the parcels all posted off, first class, signed for. So they'll all get the certificates and proof that it was posted, proof that it was received, all with the Royal Mail, not from me. All right, tracking numbers, so independently tracked by the Royal Mail. So there's the proof of everything that you need. All right, so very important documents, especially with everything that's happening. You know, they're looking at a massive wealth grab that they're going to be trying to do. So the more that we protect ourselves, then the better it is going to be. So we need to get this sorted out now. So we need to be declaring ourselves I a man, I a woman, living man, living woman. We're not a person. We're not a legal fiction. We're not an ens legis. All right. Then also we need to get that private trust created. And I don't care if you're renting a place. You still got all your stuff inside it, haven't you? All right. You wouldn't want someone to come and steal it all, would you? And you're sitting there naked in a room with no furniture and anything in. Okay. And then once you do that, you still will need to go into the public, because you can go in and out, public, private, no matter what anyone tells you. And you need to go to the office of the public guardian and do your power of attorney for your health, power of attorney for your property and finances. Now you got to pay the government, unfortunately. All right, nothing to do with anyone else. It's them, and it's £82. So if you can only afford one, and it's a lot of money, then do the health first. And then as soon as you can do it. It takes 6 months now, at least 6 months to come through, because a lot of people are doing it. Okay, and then you can have a look at my video with Richard Moore when he's talking about the living will, which the charity is set up, which is separate from the Office of the Public Guardian power of attorney, but can work hand in hand with it. This is all the protection you must be giving yourself. And then on top of that, once you've done that, then you would be getting your diplomatic immunity card from newworldalliances.com, which some of our group have used to travel abroad with absolutely no hindrance. They show the card and it says you're exempt from all of these ridiculous sanctions for the Charlie shit. So, and then I've used it myself last week, unfortunately. I ended up in hospital, had blood poisoning. My right arm looked like Popeye's big arm. It was that swollen up, but I'm all better now. You know, I've got like the antibiotics and everything. I've got a lot more to tell you, but I've got some notices to show you when I get back into the office, which will be there in a couple of minutes, and go over this stuff. Some good stuff to be telling you, especially all you fighting utility bills. All right, tell you some stuff that's just happened with that as well. But yeah, so this is the protection that we're talking about having to actually get. So I'm investigating as well the post office, because people were saying that the post office guarantees 100% of anything that's in their bank account, but you can't have a bank account now. Fucking hell, slow down. Bloody copper there, like flying up there. He's wobbling all over the road. There's a 30-mile-an-hour zone. How important is it? You got told somebody hasn't been vaccinated. Anyway, forgot what I was talking about now. I thought he was going to crash into me. Stupid clown in a costume speeding up like that, his lights flashing. Gee, it's going to be a disaster, I bet you. Needs to go and get himself a pie. That's probably all about what it is. Alright, so anyway, I'll stop here and then I'm going to get into the office. I've got some documents to show you, something that I've just received from the Ministry of Justice. Very interesting stuff. Alright, talk to you in a bit. Alright then, so here I am back in the office. So continue with the broadcast. Oh, this is what's called a broadcast. I'm recording it, but to finish off the video, when I was out in the car that little time, delivering all of the private trust documentation, all expressed through the Royal Mail, as I explained. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cover up this address here. Then I'm going to show you this. Cover that up. There. All right. So I've got one of these. Okay. Onto there. So must be going on 2 years ago or something. You know, we got off the electoral roll, which are telling everyone you've got to get off the electoral roll. There's no point in trying to vote for anything anyway. It's all an utter scam. It's all fixed before you do it. We've seen this many times. You know, it makes no difference what you try and do. They've set it out. They know what they want, and that's what's going to happen. All manufactured under the Committee of 300, going down to the Club of Rome, putting it down to the WF and the Bilderberg Group, and then, you know, they get the governments get told what to do. Right, simple as that. So this is to the resident, and it says, do not ignore this letter. So I'm not ignoring it. I'm actually dealing with it now, aren't I? Okay, to return address, it's to the electoral services. So this must be to get put back onto the electoral roll. Well, after doing all that effort to get off, yeah, it's got nothing written on there, but it says that legally, you need to respond to this letter. So I'm responding, but I'm not you, right? So what we might do is actually, I'm going to call them. I might actually call them and record it, and I'm going to ask them, you know, can you explain to me, please, who you is? Because I've got this letter here, and it's like addressed to you. So I want you to tell me who you is, and then I can actually return it to you. Make sure that you get the correct mail, and see what happens. So, you know, there, it's like the whole thing is to get off the electoral roll. I went over it quite a bit when I was down at Kings Langley, which was last weekend. Had a great event down there, packed out, great information. And I'm going, not this weekend coming, but on the 17th, I'm going to be in Plymouth. There are a few tickets left. I'm going to do some emails out about them soon as well, you know, for a link to get him a ticket if you want to. I know there's a lot of groups down there, and there have been a lot of talks in that they're wanting to go, but they haven't got the tickets yet. So make sure you get your tickets. I don't want loads of people ending up piling in at the end, you know, on the day, and then not being allowed to get in, because it's quite strict on the numbers that they allow in, you know. But again, all right, let's cover that address up as well. On here, just so I can show you this. All right, it is from the Ministry of Justice. Okay, this will be very interesting to all you that are fighting your futilities. So, as you may or may not remember, or if you may not have seen the videos, then we had a nice visit from about 4 bailiffs with a fake warrant of entry. And also like 3 police vans and 6 clowns in costumes. I mean, you know, in this street, there's only about 8 houses. You know, filled the entire street up on a civil matter, because it was an unpaid bill apparently. With this warrant that they were saying, and here's the warrant. I'll show you the warrant. Show me that warrant. Here. No, there it is. That's what they were doing. It's like eventually I got a photograph of it, and from the photograph I got the reference number. And then on the reference number, you know, like I actually sent a DSAR. I sent it to Birmingham Magistrates Court. Now, bear in mind, I'm actually in Northumberland here, right? I can actually see the border from Scotland, you know, when on a clear day. So the Magistrates Court only have a jurisdiction. I can't remember what the miles is, but it's less than 100. So that they didn't have any jurisdiction whatsoever. But also I rang up Birmingham Magistrates Court, says, oh, this reference number, I want to know if there's a warrant on this name, this address. No, never got any data on it. Confirmed on the telephone, told the clowns in costumes, oh, we don't care. You know, and they're saying, well, you have to ring Eon. You have to ring Eon. So Eon then are allowed to actually go and create their own warrants. And the clown in costume, I said that to him, he went, yes, they are. He said, yes, they are. Okay. So anyway, like, you know, they had all the palaver with all of that, you know, and they had the dog handlers there. They were going to try and take my dogs. You know, that would have been a big mistake. A big mistake. So anyway, this one here, subject, it's our reference number, blah, blah, blah. Disclosure team, Ministry of Justice, 102 Petty France, London. So I did send it to the Birmingham Magistrates Court, and then I got a reply from the Ministry of Justice in London itself. Now, they actually sent, saying, oh, well, if you want this information, you have to provide the ID to prove you're living in this address. And I actually wrote back, I said, I never told you I was living in the address. I'd never ever claimed to be living in the address. I just want you to give me the information, right, that I'm requesting on the data subject access request, right? There's the reference number, there's the address, right? And this is the legal fiction. This is the title. Let's just shut this door a second. Right, so, you know, and I sent that down to them, and they were saying, oh, you need to prove this, that, and the next thing. But anyway, so they have replied, and this is, I'll have to check out the date that I actually sent mine. So, let's have a look. Have I got it under there? Let's have a look at all these. Everything done by first class recorded, so I have this onto here. Okay. Yeah, all right, so I sent mine on the 29th of July. All right, this is where I sent it down to the Ministry of Justice. I had originally sent it to Birmingham Magistrates Court, which was on the 11th of May, just after the event. And then I got the multiple times I wrote, then emailed to get a reply from Birmingham, and then eventually they sent it to London, and then I've sent it to the Disclosure and MOG Library Team pursuant to DPA 1998-2018 GDPR Article 15. We sent a notice to Birmingham Magistrates Court. It goes on, telling them who signed for it, what time it was received, that they did not respond, and that they are not pursuant to their duty. Now, again, so like I say, you know, with that in mind, we have enclosed a copy of the photographic ID, because I thought, no, I'm going for this. So I sent them some photographic ID. I said, I do not live there. Never told you I did. Okay. And then I've repeated the question. All I've asked is, what data is held on the title, full name, legal fiction, in relation to an alleged warrant issued at Birmingham Magistrates Court relating to the address of, there's the address, with reference number, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And that was sent on the 29th of July. Okay, so the response that I have is on the 30th of August. So that's not bad. It's a month, isn't it? So they've took a month to reply, as they're allowed to do. Although this was the third one that I had actually sent off, two being to the Birmingham Magistrates Court. Okay, thank you for your email. Wasn't an email. I might have emailed it at the same time as I actually posted it. But, you know, I can check and see who actually signed for it, but it was sent. Following information from the Ministry of Justice, MOJ in brackets, relating to yourself. How do they know it's to me? Right? It's like I'm asking for a title. Right? So it gets what they've done is they've photocopied the question that I just read out to you. What data is held on that title in relation to an alleged warrant at that address, with the warrant reference number, blah, blah. Your request has been handled under General Data Protection Regulation and Data Protection Act 2018. I have conducted a search of our electronic database for your personal data held at the Birmingham Magistrates Court. However, I am unable to locate any of your personal data with the scope of your request. Not all case details are held on the electronic database. There is no warrant. There is no data these details do not appear anywhere in Birmingham Magistrates Court. So they're not all held on an electronic database. What do? Write it out and put it in the drawer for later? That's absolute nonsense. Okay. And then it's just like, all of our data is stored in accordance with the Magistrates Court's records management services. Okay. And that's it. So that there, this now is written proof from the Ministry of Justice in line with the Birmingham Magistrates Court. The Birmingham Magistrates Court confirmed on the telephone, point blank, there was no data. And there's written proof now from the Ministry of Justice that they have no data for that warrant. Okay? So this now is going to be used as the evidence, going to add it on to all of the other stuff that we have. Now we're going to notice these people now. We're going to start the noticing process where I'm going to do it to the police. All right. I've got they wouldn't give any names or what. I mean, it was ridiculous, and I ended up nearly fighting. My camera flew off. I was trying to record it. But we did get quite a bit of footage and everything, so we're going to go over it now. And I only got one of the numbers. It was a little bit hectic on the day, and I did have loads of calls booked that day. So I was trying to sort these idiots out, as well as get them out of the house, not out of the house, but out of the driveway. While it's because I wanted to do my Zoom calls. So all fun and games. But now, right, I have the names of the actual guys that were here. I have the telephone number of one of them as well. I am going to get their personal details. I will actually hire a private detective if I need to. It's not for financial gain or personal gain or anything. I want to smash these people, because everybody who is now having these goons turn up with these fake warrants, which is all fake warrants. They just do it in the office and put the magistrates, the court address down, exactly like they do with the fake council tax and the fake liability orders. They actually just have their own office and they're going to just rubber stamp. I mean, mine, I had written on signature, right? There wasn't any signatures, but there was the printed names. Priti Patel. Really? Priti Patel actually sanctioned my warrant. I mean, you couldn't make it up. So this is why I'm doing it. I'm going to go as hard as I can after these with this proof that there was no warrant, there's no data, and they are actually acting fraudulently. Okay. So this is how I'm going to do it. So we'll start doing the notices, get their names and addresses, and then we're going to go through them, and I'm going to get it into a court order. And then I want to do it their system, because I want to actually get it so that the damages will be over £5,000, and then I'm going to put in for a bankruptcy order, because I've got to be over £5,000 to do that. So that's what I'm going to do. So there's the proof. So everybody that has had these fake warrants, make sure you get the numbers, make sure you get the photographs of it, because they wouldn't give me they haven't got, oh, there it is, whoa, you're not having it, there it is, you're not having it. All right. So I had to get a photograph of it, because they're all fake and they know they're fake. Total fraud. Okay, so this is going under the Fraud Act 2007. So make sure you get them, and make sure you do exactly the same. Oh, be very specific on the DSARs. Don't ask for all these crazy things. All you want to do, as I've put it, what data is held on full legal fiction name in relation to an alleged warrant issued at, mine was Birmingham Magistrates, wherever yours is, probably is going to be Birmingham, because it's all the same office. Eon, EDF, they all, British Gas, they all use that same office. Okay, relating to the address of whatever address that you're talking about there. All right, with the warrant reference number, and that's why you need the number of their warrant. That's all you ask. Don't ask anything else, all right? Because they will not answer it and they'll just fob you off. Be very, very specific. And then after that, I'm going to find out who you is. I'm going to send this on to you. See what happens. All right, take care, and I'll see you all later. I will be. I'm going to go. I'm going to try and go live on Friday to everyone. And because I was in hospital last week and I couldn't get to do the members webinar, I will be doing it this week. Probably going to be on the Sunday, but I will send out to all the members exactly when that's going to happen. All right, take care. Take care.